Well, hello and welcome. I'm Sue Britz.
And I'm Tina Lokkbakk. Welcome to another episode of Retired.
It's the podcast where we talk about what life is like when we put on new tread, new wheels that move us to our next adventure. And Tina, today we're talking about part of our identities. Whether we believe in them or not is left to be seen, but they say your horoscope, the time, the year that you were born, says a lot about who you are. Do you believe in that?
Well, as you brought this topic up last night, I was actually kind of excited, but I realized that we may be the same. Now that you introduced it, we may be the same. I thought perhaps we'd be different. I don't believe in it. I believe that everything could apply to you if you wanted it to. So I think you read into it what you want to read into it and take out of it what you take out of it. And I used to, in my early 20s, I would always read my horoscope. And it's something where I've just evolved with time and now I don't believe it. I think it's cute. It's fun. It's like candy. But I don't believe it. How about you?
Well, I kind of feel the same way.
Uh-huh.
It would have been fun for me to present to you like a whole totally different thing. Like, I'm going to call you a Taurus, for example, and say that's who you are, and see if that resonates for you. But, so what's the purpose behind horoscope? I mean, what made human beings do this then? I mean, if they saw certain tendencies that people of a certain born in certain seasons of the year or whatever tend to be that way, maybe that's a way to rationalize it. I don't know.
I think it goes back to how we are as humans. We just want control over our lives and explanations for things. So I think it's one more area to grasp to get control.
And maybe also to validate some of the things that you're experiencing, whether they be strengths or weaknesses. It's kind of like, well, that's kind of who I am, and I'm trying to work on those things, but it gives you a way to recognize maybe some faults that we have, and then it's kind of offset because you were born with it and there's no control you have with it. So you can only work on it. So I don't know, maybe that's part of it.
Well, are we going to start
Let's
by
explore.
reading each other's?
Well, let's explore. Are you ready?
Okay, I'm ready.
So, Tina, you know that you're a Scorpio, right?
I do.
So it's interesting because a scorpion is a fearful, strong, powerful sign. You think about the animal, it's a scary one too. You could be a scary thing. You're almost like a crustacean, but out of water. So we know that too. You're a
That's
small
true.
creature, but you're deadly. I mean, I was down in Arizona visiting family, and the scorpions are no joke. They show up in your house around. You got to be careful when you put your shoes on and stuff, and they had traps like glue traps outside, and they're filled with scorpions. It's just insane the amount of
Wow.
scorpions that are all over the place. But anyhow, that's who you
Have you
are.
ever been stung by one?
No, but I do have a funny scorpion story. Do you want to hear
Yeah, I do.
it? When I was a kid, I went to summer camp. Oh, this is sounding like our last week's episode, summer camp. But it
And
was
where were you living?
it was in
Where were you living at
Florida.
this time?
It was in
Okay.
Florida, and so we were in these tents that are on platforms, the permanent tents, and uh, so you're camping on these cots and stuff. So in the morning, I got up, I put on my clothes, stepped outside, and someone goes, "Oh my gosh, there's a scorpion on your shorts!" And sure enough, there it was. I ripped my shorts off and threw them. I didn't want to. I didn't. I resisted swiping it away, which would be your normal reaction. But I just ripped my shorts off. I thought it was kind of funny because I'm
Yes,
a very uh
private.
private person, but it's a Girl Scout camp, so it's at least there weren't boys around or whatever. But it was that was my experience with scorpions. Then I learned after that you need to check everything before. And then you have to learn a lot of things like that when
Wow,
you live in
even in
Florida.
Florida.
Well, in Florida, you got to
I
learn a lot of things like with water moccasins and
Yeah,
alligators and
those things, but I
yeah, and
did not
coral
I just
snakes.
associate desert with a scorpion.
Yeah, yeah. So,
And tropical, like you feared your life with the yeah, alligator.
yeah,
Crocodile? Alligator.
alligator, Florida. What are you doing
Yeah.
with your phone?
Um, so it's been interesting that the sites that I found about your sign talked about the sun, but I thought Leo was a lion, leon.
Yes.
And so I was kind of confused about this one site because it kept referring to the sun instead of the lion. And then I thought, oh my God, am I wrong all these years? So I wasn't wrong. I just think this thing pulls in the sun a lot to talk about you.
Well, it's horoscopes all in relation to the planetary bodies. And so,
True.
you're looking at sun, moon, Venus, stars, and all the different changes of the universe. And so that's what it's in relation to. And you're a sun sign also. You're a water sign,
Oh,
but you're also sun. Yeah. I'm a fire sign and sun.
okay. That's a whole other level I have not even gone into. And I know it's fairly basic. Um, and you know what's really fascinating? My youngest daughter is so into it, like believes it like gospel. Like if everything about it and how the planets line up and all, so we are kind of like completely opposite.
Well, it'd be interesting to ask her then, what is it about it that you believe and why do you believe that? I mean, wasn't raised
Oh,
with it. So, is it so people I think who follow horoscopes and believe in astrology have um have this they believe in fate and preordination and everything. And that's just a good question to ask somebody. Do you believe that things are already decided for you, or do we have influence over those?
put that down as a topic in the future. I think that could be a really good discussion.
Have a convo with your daughter. Yeah. So what animal am I?
Well, you are the lion.
Oh, okay. What do you
Did
know
you not
about
know?
lions?
Well,
Just lions, not
it's
Leos, but
yeah,
lions.
right, right. Just lions in general. You're strong. You're the head of the pack. You're more of an alpha. You're going to speak out when you need to speak out.
Scary animals. So we have some scary animals here. Yours is
But
small and fierce, could take down a lion. Mine is large and scary with big teeth. It could step on you.
so would you say that that reflects us that I'm small and scary and you're big and scary?
No, no.
No, that's what I was just thinking too. I'm like, that's interesting.
Although I would say that
But it's a
I
symbol.
I had a reputation as a teacher of being, quote strict. So, but then when I had students, they would say, "Oh, that she's just being very reasonable. She follows the rules, and she holds them for everyone, not just individuals." And so, the strictness they came to understand was structure and fairness, and they actually liked it. So, you get this reputation of this big bad lion, and there's beautiful parts of the lion too.
And as a teacher, I was probably the opposite. I was very unthreatening, could relate to them as a 12-year-old. Like I could see them as a 12-year-old, I as people. So I was able to go to their level and it was very unthreatening. So it was very the opposite.
And yet, I
Yeah.
also know that they know that there was a line. If they were goofing
Mm,
off or being jerks, you would hold that line too. So no pushover here.
that's true.
No
That's
pushover.
true. That's true. I looked small and safe, but really I had a deadly sting when I had to. Yeah, that's true.
Whoa. See, so we're making it into what we want to make it into, right?
See, and that's what we're going to go into. But I want to start off, and I'm sure you wanted to do the same, but I'm jumping to it. So I'm going to read you what I found, and there are things in here that I think is totally not you. So I'm going to read some of the things that it says a Leo is. All righty.
Okay.
Typical Sun and Leo traits include being confident, comfortable being the center of attention, drama adoring, ambitious, loyal, fiercely protective of their nearest and dearest, generous, luxury loving, sunny, and big hearted.
Well, I relate to some of that.
Some of that I do, but some of them you are so not drama adoring.
Thank
Like
you. Yes.
you're welcome. So that one I'm like, that's so ridiculous. You don't
I had a
Yeah,
sign in my classroom, "No drama." It was a big sign, so yeah.
exactly, exactly. And then it said, comfortable being the center of attention. Yeah, I don't think that you're not comfortable, but I don't think being the center of attention has ever been your thing.
I agree, and it's like when you're a teacher, you do need to be you need to have the attention, you can hold it, and there's times when you to be a public speaker, and I can do that, but yeah, I prefer not to be the center of attention.
So again, I think we can pull the things that we want. So I can identify you as sunny, big hearted, fiercely protective of their nearest and dearest, loyal, confident. So those things totally I can
Aw,
pull for you.
thank
And I
you.
see that. But again, it's like, so when you go to read mine, there are some that I'm not going to want to identify with. Maybe they really are me, but I don't want to identify with them.
Okay, so
So,
here you go. Here's
okay.
yours. Passionate, independent, and unafraid to blaze their own trail, no matter what others think. Loves debates, aren't afraid of controversy, won't back down. Um, Hates people that aren't genuine, aren't authentic. Uh, you're loyal, loving, passionate, 100%, 110% enthusiasm, loyal friend, dedicated employee, could be your worst enemy, cautious at first, and may set up a series of tests for potential, friendship or partnership. Love harder, fight harder than any other sign, wants their partner to be absolutely honest, has a magnetic
Whoa.
aura, dedicated, resourceful, mysterious, tough to deceive, and unafraid.
I would say, wow, I'm shocked. I think I need to find your site. What site is that? Because I would say 90% of that is actually true. I think the confrontation is kind of my last. I will try everything to avoid a confrontation,
Yeah,
like everything.
me
So
too.
that would be the most untruthful thing. But the rest, I would say blazing a trail and doing it different and being independent, I think is 100% a fact.
This one also says that your love language is touch and quality time. And the only way to end a relationship is to burn it down. It's relating back to some of our previous conversations, huh?
That's funny.
Your love
What are the
match.
5 love languages again?
I
We've
don't know.
got gifts of time, gifts of gifts, like a real gift. It is touch. Oh, what are they? It's interesting.
They say that your romantic match would be with an Aries,
Hmm,
and that
hmm.
your someone that will break your heart is a Gemini. May that's people from May 21st through June 20th. Does that resonate?
Not at all.
Okay.
I don't like what your weaknesses are. I don't think you're going to like them either. And I can't, that's why I think, again, you take what you take. Do you want to hear yours?
Sure.
um, Misunderstood easily. Maybe because sometimes I think if you don't know you, like I know how pure and soft your heart is, but the first impression may not be that. So that I could see the misunderstood, arrogant and egotistical. I don't
I don't think I'm egotistical, but
know.
I do have some false pride sometimes. Arrogance, I don't think
Mm.
I'm like I don't embrace the word arrogant, but there are moments when like I can overshare knowledge that I have. And so that can come across as arrogance.
Oh.
I do like to share. I like to share a lot and talk about it because then it forms new ideas and connections in my mind. So, yeah, that could be interpreted as arrogance. But see, I think arrogance has a quality of holding it over other people, and I don't relate to that at
Right.
all. I don't
That's
relate to
exactly why I've never felt
yeah.
arrogance with
I
you
don't
either.
relate
No.
that to that at all. And I I don't think that my knowledge is better than your knowledge. I just like to keep sharing knowledge and approaches because then that's how we can learn more and like I say, make connections and synthesize our knowledges. Did that
So,
sound arrogant?
at the again, and then the other repeating theme that I is it makes me just because you're the opposite in every way, vanity. You are so not vain.
No, I'm not vain.
No. And that's been a recurring theme for a Leo as a weakness. And so again, that just proves to me you take what you want out of it, but you're anything but that. It doesn't resonate with you. It makes me laugh because you're the most I feel very comfortable with you because there is no vanity. You're just who you are. You're not strutting to try and gain all this, you know what I mean? It's so opposite of you. That's why I enjoy you.
Strutting. No.
Yeah.
See, I'd take more like the lion's approach, the lioness, where she gets quiet and low to the ground and kind of sneaks away in the grasses. Yeah.
And
Don't
confident.
don't need to go there.
I see confident. I wonder if that can be misconstrued, vanity and confidence.
Again, see, and the words this is where language is so interesting because vanity, if you're clueless and you're vain, I think you would, and you're in the world, you would eventually learn about that. But like arrogance, vanity, I think, has a bit of your embracing of this quality and holding it over others. Whereas,
Mm,
well, vanity would be more like that egotistical thing where you're just into yourself and not into the rest of the
correct.
world. And my curiosity, I'm curious about how I interpret the world and stuff, but I also am very curious about the world. And yeah, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so how about you? This one's kind of
Uh,
funny. I want to hear about
okay.
yours.
Okay.
Scorpio tries to seem tough, that they sometimes cut off their vulnerable side entirely, seemingly prickly, uncaring, and cold to outsiders. While expressing emotion is scary, learning how to do it is key for Scorpions, since presenting an I don't care veneer can only work for so long before it's exhausting. And that it's all right to cry. Well, again, this doesn't fit you. You're very soft and marshmallowy. You do cry.
Yes.
You do cry, and I don't think you're prickly. I think that that could be in response to being hurt. Y-
Yes.
you could push back on it, so because you don't want to keep being hurt.
That is correct. But I think in general, oh, you meet the world with where you're at. So I meet the world as I think I'm usually very trusting and loving and open. So I assume I'm learning this is one of the biggest learning curves of my life that people aren't always the same and people aren't always trusting or loving like but I see
Yeah,
the world from that lens so I assume everybody else is and it's been like this shock uh since really for the last decade that I've seen the world my way and assume everyone is that way too. So I'm learning that people that have been manipulating, that's because they manipulate. And so they see the world as manipulating. You know what I mean? And if you're a super fearful person, then you assume everybody else is fearful. So I'm learning that we all kind of look at the world from our own lens and that's how we see it. But so yeah, what your thoughts on that
I
kind of
think
ties
that
into that.
absolutely. The what you just said about making assuming the best of everybody, and that was an assumption. I think that our society, the society that we grew up in, although you're a Gen Xer and I'm a Boomer, I think that our we grew up in a world where that's what we were told, that human beings basically are good and assume the best of people. And I think I lived, without being like naive, totally naive, I think I lived most of my life that way and found that to be true. Um, like you say, in the last years, things have changed. Our society has changed. It doesn't operate that way anymore. That is not our culture anymore. It has become very um, aggressive, negative, distrustful, hateful, um, and it's getting worse and worse. To the point where one of my central beliefs is that, you know, basically human beings are good. I'm starting to really question that. In fact, I would go to the other side and say, human beings aren't good. We're animals, and we have to fight against those animal instincts and that's where when you lose that characteristics in society, it's so scary because then look where we are. Just a
It's a
world full
free
of
fall.
hatred. It's a free fall. Okay, that was a little negative, don't you think? Or realistic. Was it realistic?
My brain is in different compartments, and you brought up a lot of things, and I'm holding space. And, this, I'm not good at the names of the generations, but what are they right now? What are all the youngies and 20s? What are they?
Like right now? I don't know. So we
I
should
think,
do a
aren't
whole
are
episode
they
on
the
that.
X's?
I don't know. You're a Gen X. My
O-
daughter's a millennial.
Okay, let's talk millennials, I think. Millennials. Like,
Okay.
so I just want to say, I've learned a lot that this young generation in their 20s, if they're millennials, I think that's right.
No, there's something else. They're Gen Y
And
or Gen
back,
what? I don't know what they are.
okay,
Millennials are 81 through 96. Generation Z is 97 through 12.
97 through 2012
Yeah,
is which one?
Gen Z.
Oh, wow. Okay, good God.
And then there's Generation Alpha, that's 2013 to 2025. That's the one we're in now. So your kids are Gen Z.
Yes. So I guess it's the Generation Z of the 20-year-olds. And I went skiing this year by myself. And I've been hearing a lot about how this age group is so selfish and self-centered. And and I've really actually seen something different where I've seen the most open, least close-minded, and this is after having done my little stint in high school. I just see a more openness to diversity than I've ever seen before. And then I was shocked. So here I am, and I crash right as I'm getting into the ski line. And I couldn't get up. I'm stuck. I'm feeling really stupid.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Exactly. And here comes this, young, strapping, young in his 20s, and he's like, "Can I help you, ma'am?" Just so nice. And then later on that day, I ended up stuck on a chairlift. I hate being with people I don't know. And here I was, like, between two boys who were also young and so sweet and talkative. And this whole day, I had nothing but young gentlemen in their 20s who were nothing but kind and polite and anything but selfish. They felt warm and helpful. And I thought, I just came off that day like with a renewed hope of the young generation, like they're going to save us all. So I see the young as very different. I think I still hold on to the belief, Sue, that I'd say 9 out of 10 humans, if you lined them up, are still kind. We have our 10%, and it only takes the 10% who are serial killers or mass manipulators, the people that will sell you anything, no matter how bad it is, because they're going to do it. So I still hold off that we have 10% bad and 90% good. That's my theory.
Okay, I'll try to hold on to that.
Mhm.
Because that was a core belief forever. And it's not hard to go back there. But yeah, let's just hold on
Think
to the
about,
positive.
hold on. Let's take it to this point too. In a classroom, year in, year out of 30 kids, usually you had 3 that were the most challenging. It was sometimes you had like more, you had 20%, let's say, and had 6 kids that were very challenging. But by and large, I'd say about 3 is typical out of 30. And in which case, that proves my 10% rule. And by looking at them that way, that's how we got through it. Because you really, I don't know about you, but I would always tap into the fact that to look for their goodness, that every person, even the ones that are really awful, have goodness. We just have to find it, and some are harder to dig to get to than others.
Well, I remember that, but I know the numbers have changed too. Even
Uh,
in my last years of teaching, it's changed. So, um, yeah. Ugh. And there's so much going on in the world, and we haven't really talked politics. That's going to be an interesting if we decide to go there. But I mean, you just look at the world, and we can say all kinds of things. But getting back to horoscopes,
okay,
do you want to know what your top 5 reasons for to love being a Scorpio are? Here's
the
why you
top 5 reasons
yes,
to love. This
Tina.
is why I love people.
This is why you should love being a Scorpio. Okay, are you ready?
Okay,
This is for you and to embrace your Scorpio. 1, you are passionate and intense. Your sign is sexy with a capital S. You don't even have to try. And know sexy is an attitude you can present just as well as in sweats as you can in stilettos. 2, you know what you want and go after it, no questions asked. 3, you don't get intimidated easily and stand up for injustice when you see it. 4,
true.
you have a unique sense of humor. You're not afraid to say what other people are thinking, and your sometimes cynical take on the world is creative, smart, and funny as hell. 5, you're passionate. When you decide to put your heart on full display, there's no stopping you, which is why you should do it more often. And that's why, Tina, you should love being the Scorpio that you are.
I think that
You
the
should see her
passionate is a
face.
recurring theme. Well, I'm trying to think about it, and I think that the passion is true. When I really believe in something, then I do. I give it 150%. And also and I think this is where you and I are very similar. But when we see injustice, we can't let it go.
That's true.
That's where I think we become pit bulls, the two of us. Like, God forbid the person, if they were in the room with both of us at the same time, you take an arm, I take an arm, and we'd pull and wouldn't let go. Like, I feel
Rawr.
bad for that person. Yeah. Okay. So, what is so special about Leos? Leos are known for their generosity of time. As your mentee, 100% true. Energy, their generosity of energy, respect, and money. As a result, Leos are attracted to others, and Leos have a natural sense of self assurance.
Aw.
How does that sound? Right? Right. I
Yeah,
like that one
somewhat.
too.
Somewhat, yeah. All right, predictions for your future.
Oh, shit.
This is because that's what a horoscope is, right? You're supposed to check it every day or whatever. But this is for 2025. Let's see. Where did it go? Oh, by the way, did you know that you are topaz in color?
I do.
And yet you're also one of the most influential signs. Your
Oh,
numerology is number 8 in the uh, Chinese calendar. You are a monkey. You are a sun sign and tropical, it's called. All right. So the year 2025 holds immense promise and opportunities for you. That sounds good, doesn't it? It's
yeah.
bringing about positive change in your relationships, partnerships, excellent time to strengthen bonds with your spouse, family, and friends. Open communication and shared experience will enhance harmony and understanding. Consider planning a special getaway or celebration to commemorate your enduring connections. That could be for anybody.
It can. And I think it's cute because I found yours. Um, for 2025, people of the Leo zodiac sign have immense chances of achieving success this year. Same, right? So we should look up some random one like Sagittarius and see. It says your performance at the workplace, which you're not working, will be excellent and your work will be appreciated and your position and prestige will also increase. Perhaps this can apply to your artistry of glass.
Oh, there we go.
There is also a possibility of changing jobs. so, yeah, mine's based on working. So,
Well, it's
yeah,
interesting. Like are so general that it is, you know, yeah, could be anyone.
yeah.
Yeah. All right. And then finally, I'd like to share with you who your famous Scorpios are. Do you know of any?
Oh, that's fun.
Do you know who
No,
your famous Scorpios are?
no.
Well, you've got Bill Gates.
Okay.
Okay,
Interesting.
you've got Hillary Clinton.
Oh, wow.
You also have Jimmy Kimmel, Julia Roberts, Leonardo DiCaprio, Matthew McConaughey, Meg Ryan, a lot of funny people. Ryan Gosling and Whoopi Goldberg.
I like all those people
Yeah, I do too.
for all different reasons.
Yeah. There's a lot of humor in a lot of these people, except Bill
I
Gates. Bill
don't
Gates has never been a
uh,
very humorous person.
um so here are some of yours. We have Barack Obama,
Oh, I knew that. Yeah.
Meghan Markle. Oh, Halle Berry. Oh, Jason Momoa,
I don't know who that is.
Jennifer. Oh, he did the Aquaman.
Okay.
And he was also like the handsome guy in the King of Thrones that was married to the Daenerys, the blonde,
Okay.
the dragon girl. Jennifer Lawrence, Madonna. How do
Oh,
you feel about
I
Madonna?
like
And how do you
Madonna.
feel about her face? It's changed. Have you seen it?
Gosh. All right. Any last thoughts about horoscope before we wrap up today? Did we change your mind, Tina, about a horoscope? Are you going to check on
No,
it?
I think that going straight into this the way we did, I think we're going to pull from it whatever we want. And so I will remember my strengths and weaknesses based on the weaknesses I want to have and the strengths that I want to have.
Okay, very good. And positive messages along the way, messages even that maybe remind us to check ourselves in our
Mm.
limitations that we have as humans. Always good to pay attention to. That wraps up this episode of Retired. Thanks for listening.
Join us next week on our next adventure in retirement. Until then, please feel free to lend your feedback or ask questions by emailing us at retiredpodcastnewtread@gmail.com. You're invited to follow us on Facebook at Retired Podcast New Tread. Check the show notes for links and contact information.
Retired is co-hosted by Sue Britz and Tina Lokkbakk. It is produced, directed, and edited by me, Sue Britz. Music and graphics are by me too. Please click to subscribe so that you won't miss your chance to join
Join
our
our
retired
retired
road trip.